Hi, my name's Leanne. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director at Solar Plants. Now, we've been having a lot of inquiries recently about the government Feed-In Tariff scheme, probably because it's coming to an end soon. So we thought it would be helpful if we created a video to answer all of your Feed-In Tariff questions. So I'm here with John Bloomfield, the National Sales Manager.
Hello.
And I'm going to put to him all of our most frequently asked questions on our web chat, and I'm sure he's going to do an excellent job of answering them. So, are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Okay, brilliant. So, luckily we are here in our exhibition trailer. So firstly, John, exactly how does the Feed-In Tariff scheme work?
So the Feed-In Tariff is paid to you based on the generation of clean energy. So although it's called the Feed-In Tariff, it is purely on generation and not on feed-in. So first of all, you have to generate it. So your solar panels up on the roof will generate DC electricity. You'll then have an inverter which converts it from DC to AC. Now this is because the appliances in the home will currently be running off AC. From there, we run a cable, should I say, down to your generation meter. The generation meter is quite an important piece of equipment because this will measure exactly how much electricity your solar panels have generated in order for you to submit your readings to get your Feed-In Tariff payments.
Okay, brilliant. So who exactly can benefit from the Feed-In Tariff scheme?
So pretty much anybody can benefit from the Feed-In Tariff scheme. Homeowners with an EPC of D or above, and also business owners who own their building or have permission from the landlord, and again with an EPC rating of D or above.
Okay, so how would a customer claim their Feed-In Tariff?
It's quite straightforward. All you need to do is first of all have the solar PV system installed by an MCS accredited installer like ourselves, who can then provide you with an MCS certificate. You put that along your EPC of D or above. Download a Feed-In Tariff application form from the internet, so most energy providers' websites will have that. Fill out the Feed-In Tariff form, attach the MCS certificate and EPC certificate, send it off to your provider, and then just wait for a response.
Okay, so what is an EPC, just in case anyone wasn't aware of it?
Good question. So an EPC is an energy performance certificate. It's a rating of how energy efficient your house or building is. So things that can affect an EPC are boiler, insulation, double glazing, and that sort of kit.
Okay, so when do the payments start?
So the payments start from pretty much the day that you have the system fitted. On the day you have the system fitted, or the day you make the application, you'll take your first generation meter reading, and it's any electricity generated after that first reading you'll be paid on.
Okay, so how often do you claim a payment?
So you claim the payment quarterly or annually. You can have it paid directly to you, or you could have it sent to you by cheque.
Okay, so how much do you think a customer would likely generate from the Feed-In Tariff scheme?
So an average 4 kilowatt system south-facing in, say, sunny South Wales, you'd be looking at about £7,000 over the 20 years that the Feed-In Tariff is guaranteed for.
Okay, so are you then tied to that particular energy provider that you claim the Feed-In Tariff scheme off? Because a lot of people like to switch providers to get the best deal. So is that not an option once you've got the Feed-In Tariff?
So once you've got your Feed-In Tariff accepted, you can have it accepted with, for example, energy provider 1, but you can still shop around for the supply of your energy to your home, so you're not tied to that energy provider for anything other than them to pay you your Feed-In Tariff payments. So I could buy from one energy provider and still get paid by another for my Feed-In Tariff.
Okay,
and switch as much as I like.
So what happens then if a customer decides to move home?
So if you move house, you likely would leave the solar panels on the property and you decide the remaining Feed-In Tariff over to the new homeowner, which you could argue will add value to the property because of course you're buying a house with a tax-free income and free electricity. So for me, I would say that adds value.
Definitely. Okay, so when exactly is the Feed-In Tariff going to end?
So the Feed-In Tariff ends on the 31st of March, so that means you need to be fully installed, commissioned and Feed-In Tariff application submitted before that date.
Okay, so it's got to be actually installed before that date, not an order placed by that date?
Fully installed, with average lead times at the moment of about 4 weeks.
Okay, brilliant. So what do you think the solar PV market is going to look like after the Feed-In Tariff scheme has ended?
Pretty similar, although it's a great subsidy to take advantage of whilst we still can. Electricity demand in the UK homes is only going to grow with time of use tariffs and battery storage now available, and of course the government's push on electric vehicles. Energy demand will grow, and as will solar.
Okay, brilliant. So our advice to you basically is this. Although solar PV is still an absolute no-brainer after the Feed-In Tariff scheme has ended, if you are thinking about incorporating solar PV into a project at your home or your business in 2019, it's worthwhile getting your skates on and having a look before the March 31st deadline. So the first step to do this with us would be to arrange a completely free, no obligation desktop survey. You can do that in a few different ways. So you can log on to our website www.solarplants.org.uk and fill in an online inquiry. You could also chat with our web chat team, or if you'd like to speak to us over the phone, our contact number is 0800 856 2200. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope we've answered your questions. Thank you.